This is Brenda, am I right? We just exchanged line addresses, so I thought I would try sending you a text. You there, Brenda? Maybe this is a good time as any to ask you a few pertinent questions. Oh, hey, Becky, right. Good evening. Good to hear from you so soon. It was nice meeting you when our families met the other night. I was a bit nervous, but it was all very enjoyable, wasn't it? So, I'm sure you already know all about me, right? Oh, of course. You're the wife of my fiancé's brother, which will make you my sister-in-law in the not-so-distant future. I look forward to being a part of the family. What should I call you after we marry? Do you mind if I continue calling you Becky? Would you rather that I call you by your real name, which would be Rebecca, right? Becky's fine. I've never really liked the name Rebecca anyway. And it sounds sort of old-fashioned. It makes me feel old for some reason. Oh, really? All right, then I'll call you Becky. I prefer that too. Sounds way younger and accessible than Rebecca. So what was it that you wanted to ask me? Was it something important? My husband tells me that you're not working at the moment. Not even a part-time job. Is that true? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? I'd just like to know, is all. What are you doing now? Just lounging around the house, or are you working at home? Like the remote online stuff we recently hear about. Yes, that's right. Most of my work I do remotely from home. Give me the details, would you? I can't get a good grasp of what you're doing when you just say, I work remotely. You sound like a robot or something. Oh, yes. Sorry. I guess you can say I send out images and messages through social media. Stuff like that. Excuse me? Sending out messages and photos and the like, is that what you're saying? I'm not asking about your hobby, Brenda. I want to know what you do for a living. Actually, that is my work. It's not a hobby, as you suggest. Not many people can really make money just posting on social media unless they have some big sponsor or something. You're delusional if you think that'll work. Only a small percentage of people can do that. Besides, I just can't fathom a person like you. An ordinary run-of-the-mill woman like yourself would have the creativity or acumen to make money on social media. So what you're actually saying is that you're unemployed, isn't that right? This social media stuff is just a mere hobby. Oh, no, I do have some income. It's not like I'm unemployed, as you put it. If you're not bringing home any money, it means you're not working, my dear, which is the definition of unemployed. Really, I am working and bringing in income. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, what I wanted to say was that if you're in financial trouble, and I can see you headed in that direction, I just don't want you relying on me for money, that's all. Oh, is that so? I don't think you have to worry about that, Rebecca. If you don't want any family contact with me, well, I'm okay with that if that's the way you want it. Oh, yeah, all right. I just wanted to put that out there so you know where I stand going forward. What I also wanted to say was, maybe you should seriously think about simply nullifying this whole engagement. I think it would be for the best. Pardon me, nullify? You mean I shouldn't get married? Is that what you're suggesting? I better get going. We'll talk again.
Hey, Brenda, are you okay? What's this about?
Hey, Paul, what are you talking about? Is there a problem?
It's about my brother's wife.
Are you talking about Becky? Or should I say Rebecca?
Yeah, that's right. She contacted me and started telling me all this weird stuff about you. I was just worried. We're not even married yet, and I'm already hearing this bitching from Becky. I was a bit concerned, you know?
Yeah, well, we did exchange line messages, but the last time we met face-to-face was at the dinner meeting last month. She sends these silly messages saying stuff like, I'm way more attractive than you, kind of stuff. Harmless kid stuff, really.
Oh, yeah, I remember you showing me that text conversation a couple times. Boy, she never gives up with that nonsense.
Did she say something to you, Paul? What did she say?
To be honest, it was pretty appalling stuff. You sure you want to hear it?
Well, I can imagine what she said, so I wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead.
Okay, get ready then. She said, "If you marry that lazy, jobless leech of a woman, I want nothing to do with you." And if that wasn't enough, she continued with, "If you were marrying an attractive and stylish woman, she would be a nice ornament. But that unappealing and unemployed freeloader? No thank you." She told me to nullify the engagement now. "Sooner the better," she said. I know, kinda low, huh?
You can say that again, but I suppose it can't be helped about what she said about being unemployed. I was sort of vague regarding that part. I didn't want to be too fancy on our first meeting, so I toned down my makeup and picked that simple dress. To be honest, I didn't expect to get such a reaction.
I'm really sorry for all this, Brenda.
You have no reason to apologize, Paul. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, well, she is my brother's wife, and I can't ignore the fact that she's a relative.
But it's because of my vague explanation of my work. She's just figured I was making my hobby sound like a real job. In a sense, I don't blame her. Anyway, maybe I should have been more upfront about it.
Well, that's not your fault at all. You had good reason to be vague about your work. You know what, Brenda? I don't think your choice of makeup and a more subdued choice of clothes was in any way wrong. In contrast, Becky's flashy clothes and thick eyelashes are way too tacky for my taste. As a matter of fact, everyone there was a bit taken aback by her way too flamboyant fashion choices.
Yeah, I know. I checked out her Instagram page the other day. Boy, what was she trying to prove with that makeup? Like an insect trying to attract the opposite sex.
That's an interesting way of putting it. You think she's trying to attract the opposite sex, maybe?
I'm not sure, but as a woman, it sure looks that way. But what do I know, right?
But why get all dressed up for a meeting between relatives? Makes no sense.
Yeah, that was sort of uncomfortable, wasn't it?
Anyways, I already told my folks as well as my brother about what you really do, so that's not a problem. As for Becky, my brother is waiting for the right time. But if things continue, I was thinking of just confronting her myself and explaining everything to her. Maybe that would be the more suitable route to take.
Don't get all worked up about it, Paul. Your brother said that he had plans, so leave it up to him. He'll work it out. Maybe he's got his own strategy all worked out. You don't want to disrupt his plans, right?
Sorry, Brenda. This is such a hassle for you, isn't it? I hate having to put you through this.
Don't worry about it, Paul. I'm fine. I've dealt with people like Becky hundreds of times in the past. She doesn't compare. I can deal with it just fine.
But it's an area Becky would be really interested in, and I just can't understand why she hasn't figured it out. At the meeting, I was super nervous that she would recognize your face and would go totally berserk. I totally thought she would know it was you on sight.
That's how it usually is, these things. You just don't expect it. Your mind doesn't register. Don't worry about me. I'll just play along with Becky until the wedding. I can handle her, no problem. There's no need to worry, Paul.
Really sorry, Brenda. I appreciate it.
So, Brenda, you've decided not to nullify that engagement like I suggested. I warned you about this. Oh, hello, Rebecca. How are you? I heard you were going to be coming late to the wedding. Can I ask you what time you'll be here? We have to make preparations. I'm sure you understand. The wedding ceremony is just about to begin, so I suggest you get here pretty soon. Yeah, well, I'm not sure I will make it in time. Probably get there right in the middle of it all. I was planning to just skip this silly affair, but my husband was so adamant that I attend, I reluctantly agreed. What a total waste of time. I have much better things to do than attend this dopey wedding. Well, as long as you're coming. But just remember that I am a popular Instagrammer, which will of course attract a considerable amount of attention, so just be ready for that. You had it coming, Brenda. I warned you about this. Rebecca, what the hell was that today? Why did you do such a thing? All I did was make a grand entrance into your boring little wedding and make a surprise speech. Did you enjoy that? A surprise speech? All you did was snatch that microphone from the host and make a fool of yourself. What an awful thing to do to a person's wedding. Oh, poor girl. I did it to pull the lid off the real you. To expose your true identity. The jobless fake that you are. So sorry that everyone had to know the real you, the unemployed freeloader pretending to be some social media big shot. I didn't want to be associated with you as a family member, so I took the initiative and made my position clear. So there would be no misunderstanding later on. I hope you understand. So what did you think? Did my little speech convince you to give up on this marriage? You must have been so embarrassed that you will never be able to go through with this partnership. Just to be clear, I don't want to be a part of a family with the likes of you. You do understand, Brenda, right? I mean, it would be such an embarrassment to say you're a relative. How many times have I said that I really don't care to have any family relationship with you? You go on your way and I'll go mine. We don't even have to interact. Why can't you just accept that? It's not about just not having contact. I told you about my Instagram page, right? You look through it all the time, right? As you can see on my Instagram page, I am a makeup specialist. I have a lot of followers who follow my makeup techniques and heed my advice on matters of beauty. But if my many followers learn that a jobless, plain Jane like yourself is a relative of mine, I'm finished. Or at least it would smear my reputation. And you tell me you're also doing social media stuff? Probably just uploading idiotic videos and messages, but you see, Brenda, if it gets out that I'm somehow associated with you, much less family-related, oh my God, it would tarnish my good name forever, and I just could not have that. Any potential danger to my good name has to be eradicated for good before it gets out of hand. Oh, boy. I really don't know what to say. Well, you can thank me for a successful speech. But after I made that speech, they kicked me out of there pretty quick, but that drab little ceremony was cancelled anyway, right? No, it wasn't cancelled. It continued to the very end. It all went perfectly, except for that little speech incident partway through, but that was soon forgotten. Excuse me? They didn't cancel the whole shebang? Everyone was a little shocked at first, but most got over it. Some even thought it was just a prank. No way, you're lying. The timing of that surprise speech that you made was pretty good, though. Everyone sort of cringed after that. I hate to say this because I sound like I'm boasting, and I assure you I don't get any satisfaction in doing that, but among the many guests that were here, a lot of them were here to meet me, a pretty well-known influencer. Again, I hate to brag. Right when you started that speech, we were right in the middle of a photo and signing session with all my fans. Excuse me? Influencer? What the hell are you even talking about, Brenda? I'm saying I'm a well-known influencer, you know, a content creator on social media. I know exactly what an influencer is. You don't have to explain. So that means you've seen my face on Instagram, then? Huh? See you? Yes, I know that you follow me on my page, and you even liked me a bunch of times. As a matter of fact, you liked me on every photo. Wait, are you serious? When you barged into the room and snatched that mic from the host, you were so hyped up that you didn't get a good look at me. If you would have taken a good look, you would have recognized me right away because I was wearing the usual makeup that I normally use on Instagram. If you had only looked my way even for a second, I'm sure you would have realized who I was. Are you saying that normally you wear a more subdued sort of makeup? Is that what you're saying? Yes, that's right. I had a bad experience with this stalker once, so when in public, I try not to attract much attention by toning down my appearance. Just a way of protecting myself. I guess you can say it's kind of like a disguise. Wait a second. The people I follow on Instagram are limited. I only follow certain people, not any ordinary influencer. I probably only follow the top 10 influencers on Instagram. Are you saying that you're one of those top 10 people? Precisely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why didn't you tell me this sooner, if I would have known? I made a complete fool of myself. Was this all on purpose? Of course not. Your husband asked me not to tell you. He thought it would be better. Excuse me? My husband told you not to tell me? Now why in the hell would he do that? He knew how you would react, is probably why. Once you found out I was a well-known influencer, you would use the status of your family reputation to me and blow everything out of proportion. I guess he didn't want you making a total fool of yourself. What? He said that? Yes, but I suggest you ask him directly. I don't want to put words in his mouth. From here on, this is an issue to be worked out between husband and wife. Brenda, are you there? Oh, please talk to me. My husband, he just divorced me. What did I do that was so wrong? All that makeup and clothes I needed for my Instagram page, I bought it on his credit card, and my husband found out about it. I told him that I needed that stuff for my Instagram page. Besides, we're married, and so what's so wrong about sharing funds, right? But it turns out that his credit card was linked to his personal savings. Money he saved when he was single. I used a considerate amount, like $20,000. So after the divorce, I was told I would get nothing. It would have to reimburse him for the stuff I bought. Is that fair? What am I going to do? I can't pay him back for all that with just my part-time job money. Brenda, could you lend me some money? Please? An influencer like yourself, you make pretty good money, right? I'll pay you back in no time, so please, Brenda, help me out here. So please, $20,000. Please, I would really appreciate it. If you could add a little more so I could get back on my feet, oh, that would really be helpful. Sorry, Rebecca. I think I'll pass on that. And if you don't mind, I'm going to block you. Wait, please. See you around, Rebecca. Please, Brenda, help me out, please. Right after the wedding and that so-called surprise speech, Rebecca's Instagram page lost all her followers and went crashing down into the digital abyss. Someone at the wedding recorded the whole incident on their phone and quickly uploaded it to social media. And we all know what go viral means. I was surprised her Instagram page went down so quickly after that. Her dream of becoming a popular influencer vanished without a trace. After the divorce, she was relegated back to her parents' place back east. She was given one of those senior citizen phones that only have 3 or 4 important numbers preset and with no access to the internet. And I heard that she was only allowed to have no more than $10 in her purse. And of course no credit card of any kind. Only cash. Her parents got her a job just down the street at a relative's business, so they have her monitored 24/7. She's more like a prisoner now with nowhere to go. All she does is work to pay off her debts. Everyone in the neighborhood knew her story, what with that viral video and all. Actually, she was somewhat of a celebrity over there. Not exactly the kind of fame she was dreaming about.